So you think we might be watching a summer reboot of Law & Order, political theater unit, because the left has been putting on quite a show.
From Senator Van Hollen's passport-punching trip to El Salvador to visit an alleged gang member and human trafficker, to Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass squaring up with border agents, and Senator Alex Padilla getting himself detained for dramatic effect at a DHS press conference. Oh, and of course, Tampon Tim Walz jumping into the ICE-bashing chorus.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons. No chance to mount a defense, not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye, just grabbed up by masked agents, shoved into those vans, and disappeared.
I think he wanted to say Gestapo, but it came closer to, I don't know, gelato. Unfortunately for all these Democrats, Americans just aren't buying it. It's not working, not even a little bit. As you see there, Fox News polling shows nearly 60% of Americans want criminal illegal immigrants deported. That is exactly the same number as 6 months ago, before this whole agitation process began.
Joining us live in studio to react is National Review Editor-in-Chief Rich Lowry and Meslansky Partners President Lee Carter. Hope I said that correctly.
Yep. Thank you so much. All good.
Good to go. So let's talk about this. Democrats continue down this path of trying to get attention by opposing ICE efforts, but Americans are liking what the president is doing despite all of the pressure from the media and Democrats saying this shouldn't be happening in people's communities.
I mean, there is so much theater on the left about this. They are saying that the Republicans are not being inhumane. They're calling names. They're doing all of these different names, and it is not working because the Republican platform, Donald Trump's platform, is one that resonated with the American people. It's simple for people to understand. They said, look, we don't want illegal immigrants here. We don't want people who are criminals here. We want to put safety first. And then what we want to do is put Americans first. And that is the message of Donald Trump. Now, Democrats have gone through this long playbook of saying, we're going to talk about how bad Donald Trump is, how evil it is, and how the world's going to end. Whether it's on immigration, whether it's on, you go through the policies, that's been their playbook for the last 10 years, and it just doesn't work. It's not moving the needle. It didn't move the needle on the other issues, and it's not moving the needle on this one either.
Rich, when Trump took office in January, 59% of Americans in the Fox poll said, yes, deport the criminal illegal immigrants. And another almost 30%, by the way, said deport every illegal immigrant. Those numbers are completely unchanged.
Yep.
After all of these months of theatrics and demagoguery, et cetera, CBS did a report. They tried to put their own spin on it. But of the first 100,000 deportees, as of just a few weeks ago, more than 70% of them had criminal convictions, Rich. So the administration's doing exactly what they said they were going to do and doing something that the American people, by a 90-10 margin, agree with.
Yeah, so if Democrats wanted to begin to get out of the ditch they're in, they'd say, you know what, we're happy the border is now shut down. Oh yeah, and by the way, please do come to my city and get these rapists and criminals out of there who don't belong here, right? But they can't bring themselves to do it. They do treat ICE as the moral equivalent of the Gestapo, and no reasonable person thinks of them that way. Now, I think over time, the problem here is, as the border continues to be sealed, immigration may be a little less urgent an issue for people, and eventually, they have largely started with criminal aliens who've committed crimes besides just routine immigration crimes. But you will work your way through those people, and to really move the needle, you either need to deport people who haven't committed other crimes or find a way for them to leave themselves. And I think that's the self-deportation is the key.
Yeah, although, I mean, if there are 100,000 in, there are well over 1 million people with criminal convictions.
Yep.
Or active deportation orders against them. So there's a lot of work still to do just within that politically popular group.
Right.
I want to turn to this. There's been a lot of talk about Texas and California, this redistricting battle in the Lone Star State and the retaliatory threats from Governor Newsom. Well, now the governor of Florida is weighing in, and this might seem like it's out of left field. It's not at all. He's asking for a census recount while calling out the Golden State. Watch.
They should do it and count people that are legally allowed to be here. How many seats would California lose if you only counted lawful people, citizens? They would lose a lot of seats because they're a sanctuary state. For us, you know, we would stand to gain because we did not spend money to try to count illegals, because I don't think that that's constitutionally proper. I do think the Trump administration is going to put in for a census that is not going to count foreign nationals. that is just going to count U.S. citizens.
Well, Vice President Vance also weighed in, shaming California, saying their gerrymander there is outrageous, done by an independent commission, but it's so lopsided in Democrats' favor. Rich, I'm going to come back to you on this because even if you kept the system as is, keeping every resident in the count, the Census Bureau admitted in 2020 that they massively miscounted like 14 states, and in the process, experts believe they overestimated the population of blue states, underestimated the population of red states to the tune of 5 to 10 House seats, which is a big deal here.
Yeah, this is one of the most basic governmental functions that goes back to the beginning of the Republic, and not being able to get it right is a very bad thing. It's also just one of the most perverse and bizarre practices in U.S. government that we're counting illegal immigrants, and they go into the picture in terms of where you get congressional seats. So it does privilege California for no good reason. So DeSantis is right about this, as he is about many other things.
And you had some Democrats, Lee, on record saying, I want more illegal immigrants in my county or in my district specifically and in my state so I can continue to serve in Congress because they help with Democrats getting seats. And this is something the Trump administration took on during the first term. They went through the court system. Democrats and leftist groups, of course, sued to continue to have illegal immigrants counted in the census because it's all about political power and representation in Washington, especially when the margins are so thin.
And these are the types of things that lead the American people to feel like the whole system is rigged against them, that things are unfair. It's another reason why Donald Trump's America First messaging works, because we want to put American citizens first. They should be the ones that are counted. They should be the ones that decide who is representative of them. And it's simply not the case here. And I think this is, when I look at polling right now, one of the things I'm seeing over and over again, whether it's either on the right or the left, people think that the system is unfair. It's really designed to work against them, not for them. 70% of Americans feel that way. And this is one more thing that really shows that to be true. And I think Ron DeSantis is really smart to point it out. And it seems like common sense. I don't know how you could argue against it.
It just seems like if you can't vote legally because you're not a citizen, you should not be counted so that you get representation in Washington, D.C. for someone that you can't vote for.
Yeah, they make the argument that if you ask the citizenship question, people will stop responding. But the Census Bureau uses the citizenship question on all sorts of other important surveys. So that argument doesn't hold water.
And they got the count wrong anyway in 2020. Rick, Lee, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.